Hello, hello, hello. Welcome from La Fortuna, near La Fortuna in central Costa Rica. And
Yes, welcome from the other side of Costa Rica. Actually, I'm really bad with geography. I only know we're 4 hours away from each other. I think I'm south of San Jose.
can you add me in Instagram?
Yes, I tried. Not yet.
Not
Yep,
yet.
it says invited. You got to switch to Transcendentation.
Technology. I thought I was on Transcendation. You invited Transcendation?
I did, yes, and so it won't let me do it again.
It
Okay,
says
here we
I'm
go.
on.
It's letting me do it again. There we go. Okay,
Ah, yay. Okay.
there we go. So now that we're set up on our platforms, thanks for your patience, everyone. Welcome to Daily Invocation Souls Check-in. This is your number one source of inspiration and information for your healing, attainment, and liberation. And today we have a bit of a different invocation, more of a check-in. Prasad over there near La Fortuna or in La Fortuna has been at a 1 month long retreat at Brave Earth, otherwise known as Tierra Valiente. In April, Joe and Laura, our dear friends, visited us in Costa Rica. We went on this amazing road trip to explore different communities. So we landed in Brave Earth for a few days, during which time we found out through one of the co-founders that there was this month-long Reworlding Residency program. And Prasad became very interested. So he applied, he got in, and he was chosen as one of, I think, 20, you'll let us know in a moment, global transformational leaders that are creating big changes in the world. So we would love to hear how your experience has been now that you're wrapping up on your last day there. I can't hear you, Prasad. We had this happen one other time. Oh, there we go. Okay.
We gotta get our Zoom, Instagram one of these days. So today, like Kunadere was saying, is the last day of the residency. And one quick fun side note is when we visited in April with Joe and Lauda, the two of the primary founders here were Burning Man friends that Joe had met. And so it was a neat synergy. Wow, small world sort of thing. So that already started. And the Burning Man is interesting. I haven't never been myself, but a lot of friends have been, and a lot of friends have said great things about Burning Man. And that was a big part of the genesis for this Brave Earth retreat center and community in about 2 hours from San Jose, pretty close to Arenal volcano, Lake Arenal. So the founders here were very inspired at Burning Man over a couple of visits and said, wow, if this can be put together in a week or 2 weeks, imagine what we can do if we tried to set something up. And it's two brothers, and one of them is a lot of activism work. And so my board of directors of some organizations and just had spent a life in political, environmental, economic activism. And so he had a lot of connections, and also Brave Earth was born like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So when we visited in April, this month-long Reworlding Residency just resonated with me. And so not a retreat. It was very clear that it's a residency, that everyone have self-directed projects they're working on, and we can support each other. And we'll have some jungle activities, and we went to a neat hot springs and on some great hikes and some ceremonies. But it really is about a residency and being together, and kind of a 30-day experiment. It's their first time doing it. And of course, the Souls Enterprise is a big project Crunadera and I are working on, and Trauma to Triumph immersion coming up. There's a lot alive, so it really made sense to come spend this month in August at Brave Earth and check out this Reworlding Residency. And it's great because there's 17 of us. I think Al-Noor, the primary facilitator, said there's a wait list of about 10. So it was great being with 17 like-minded, transformational people with project, all different paths, all different walks, not even necessarily spiritual. There's a UN lawyer. There's someone who sings with the Pleiadians. There's a guy with a death podcast. Just a beautiful smorgasbord of differing personalities. And from my facilitator observer eyes, it's been fascinating watching it morph throughout the month. So Al-Noor identifies as a mystical anarchist. So there is a tremendous amount of anarchy throughout the month, which is just not what I'm used to. I love it philosophically. On a practical level, like Souls Enterprise, we start all our events on time and end on time, and I'm used to that. So it was a interesting internal reworlding right there, day to day things changing, and adjusting to that. And the shift necessary from the facilitators, because like the first week especially, people were needing more facilitation, although it was set up as a residency and very much hands off. Within a week, it was clear that people needed facilitation and needed a little more retreat energy, at least the first 2 weeks. So it's interesting watching that shift and being a part of it. Did I see unmuting or Pippi? Okay, so anyways, that's the retreat. Let's some personal things taking away. Yeah, you know what? Let's start with the anarchy. Um, I spent a long time identifying as an anarchist, not in a chaotic way or a violent, militant way, but a philosophical way. And I never got organized with it because that's the antithesis of anarchy, and my life went in a spiritual direction. But it's been neat spending a lot of time with this mystical anarchist and the ethos. He did spend a lot of time in anarchist circles. And in addition, he's deep, multi-generational Sufi devotional practice. So the mysticism is very real. And then, you go to the Brave Earth website, there's some work with plant medicine. So there's that shamanic tradition and the relationship with the jungle here in Costa Rica. It's a very interesting land. Brunadere and I have traveled a goodly bit of Costa Rica. This particular property is very interesting, and the intentionality is beautiful. So I will share that one of my intentions for the month, well, going in, was mastery. I was curious, like, what does mastery look like? Okay. A lot of us physically capable have mastered walking. I think all of us have mastered breathing. to the point where it becomes second nature, right? We don't have to think about walking, have to think about breathing. Sometimes we do, but generally we don't. So that was a intention on the way in. And then the first opening circle, when we got to say hello, it shifted into mastership. Oh, that's interesting. And I've even spent some time grogging that. What's the difference between mastery and mastership? I still have, I'm not 100% on it, but mastership seems more a state of being. And so that's been like one interesting inquiry from the get go. Also, there's been a lot of let go from the get go. Naturally, part of mastership is unattachment to outcome and desire, and of course, humility. So, being in a jungle, being with a bunch of new personalities, being in an interesting, changing situation with schedule changing and everything changing, there's plenty to let go of. So that's been wonderful. Um, there are a bunch of other great takeaways, but I will process those for a little bit and probably do another report later.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us a taste of your experience. We actually have a retreat. I know you just used the word residency versus retreat, but Souls Enterprise will have a retreat in March 2023, and anyone can book a personalized retreat with the two of us wherever we are in the world at that time, which is even more special. So, and I just want to say, use the word experiment, and I love that. Life is an experiment, and what we do with it on a daily basis is up to us, how we want to lead that experiment or surrender into that experiment. So we'll leave you with that, and we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same platforms. And Saturday we have Amos, a meeting of souls.
Thank you, everyone. Much, much